Hello everybody, this is House Gaming and welcome back to another episode of Let's Play Disco Elysium. In the previous episode, after spending all of our skill points, we managed to assert our authority over the Titus boys, or the Hardie Boys. Titus and the Hardie Boys, well, whatever, you know. And, well, we got them to give up the name of the so-called victim that they killed the mercenary over. Except that victim is now claiming that what they wanted her to say never actually happened. Interesting. Now it's time to confront Titus about it. Look, a handful of dried white wildflowers.
Just as you look at the flowers, a gust of wind raises them from the roof, picking them up in the air. You catch a single white flower between your fingers. The rest fly off into the wind. It's a maybell. The young woman looks at the maybell in your hand. Just a glance, then takes a drag of her cigarette. The lieutenant gives you an acknowledging little nod.
Okay. So our bouquet you caught, one of a bouquet of muguets that you found on the whirling roof. It's shedding its petals quickly in your pocket. 6
crumbling petals rest on your palm. They're white, a bell-shaped crown.
What is this, Kim?
This is the Insulindian lily, called Maybells or Lucille's tears during the Revolution. Girls used to pin these on soldiers before sending them off to battle.
This flower is a spring flower, but it's a bit early for that, isn't it?
Who pinned them? Which side?
The revolutionaries, so the communards and the anarchists. White's their color, but the custom started in the suzerain's army, so it held meaning for the kingsmen too. It's about girls and boys more than sides. Girls sending off boys who are going to their deaths, then also dying themselves in the ruins from dysentery and consumption. It's a symbol of the Civil War.
Does this flower blossom in early spring?
Yes, but not this early, not to my knowledge. It looks dried, preserved.
Is it a coincidence, it being on the roof?
Maybe. Maybe not. We'll see.
Very well.
The petals feel dry and fragile in your hand. Wait, have you noticed there's a war veteran playing a ball game on the plaza? You should ask him about the flowers.
Sounds like a plan. All right, now we need to go back downstairs. And before we confront Titus, I'm going to actually do something else. I want to take a look at the window again. See if maybe now that time has passed, we can potentially pass that check. And if not, I've got a skill point I can use on that. See, I believe F5. Yep.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. The hawthorn branches scrape the glass like nothing. Just black tangles like the hair of an old woman. Motionless. The wind in the yard doesn't reach the hawthorn, nor does the light come in from this window.
Do I have anything that can boost my perception? Drama, spirit decor, reaction speed, logic, composure, physical instrument. Nope.
Behind the dockworkers, a ceiling-height window. There's a yellow ribbon tied to one of the branches. Light yellow, faded with time. A tiny splash of color in the blackness of the thicket. Hanging from it, a bronze key. Someone hid the key in the bush and attached the yellow ribbon to make it easier to find. It's close enough to the latch up there. One can slide it open and just take it. Surely not a coincidence.
Someone's hid a key in the bush.
Huh?
Can you let me slide by so I can grab the thing?
I don't know about that. I'm comfortable here. Don't think any sliding would really help right now.
Sorry, fucko. Looks like you're gonna have to go bush diving. Good fucking luck with that. The hawthorn's got a bitch of a bite.
I'm gonna enjoy the sight of you in the bushes out there.
With a loud thud, the old man stands up, pushes the window open, grabs the key from the hawthorn branch, and slides it across the table to you. The key is brass. Workshop spare is etched into its bow. The old man closes the window and sits back down in silence.
Come on, man. We were just having some fun. Where's the harm in...
I'm tired of listening to your shit.
Thank you.
Don't thank me. I don't give two shits about your key.
There is a silence around this man's words. Unlike Titus, they're afraid of him. That's the type of respect he commands.
Does anyone know why this key was hanging right outside the Union box window?
Didn't even know it was there. Boys.
No idea.
Never even seen it. Someone must have hidden it there before this room became our place.
I wonder what doors does it open.
It could open the door in the kitchen. The blue door. It says workshop spare. Maybe there's a workshop there?
It's worth a try.
Alright. Let's give it a shot.
You see a heavy steel door with a prominent... The key fits the dimple lock. It takes a bit of effort to turn it after all these years. But then, the lock clicks. Dust rises before you like mist. A tomb? Haunted by regal spirits from distant ages. No. Smells like engine grease and cut wood. A workshop.
Huh. Pinball says Franco-Generian. Theme is horses and swords. White Diora. The black glass shows a female figure in mourning. NB. The spare key is tied to the bush outside the corner room window. That probably would have given us a bonus. Ooh. I'll take that. Anything else around here?
Over there, in the corner.
Pinball machine?
Not just any pinball machine. This is the pinnacle of pinball. Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats. It's lit. You can't wait to get your hands on it.
Kim, are you seeing what I'm seeing?
The pinball machine. Gordy's Goats. A classic.
Wait, you've played it?
A little.
Let's take a closer look.
Ah, great.
Lieutenant sighs.
Cornelius Gordy and the Mountain Goats reads the golden lettering on top of the back box. There's a small column of text underneath. The machine is coin operated. Get the game on, Fingerboy. Those flippers are ready.
Lean closer to read the text.
Above the painting of a mustached man climbing a hill, a column reads, inspired by the legend of Cornelius Gordy, taken on the world's tallest peak, Corpus Muindi. The Mesk legend holds that when the nation is in danger, heroic Gordy shall return and save his people.
Inspect the playing field.
The theme of the game is to explore Gordy's climb through the perspective of goats and to ascend to the top of the mountain in a time of trouble. The peak of the mountain is at the top of the playfield. All the balls have small goat icons on them and represent the goats as they race up and down the mountain. Areas around the playfield represent Gordy's climb, places he was said to have camped, which the goats can discover. Get them to the summit.
What's with all the goats?
Indeed. Think of them as balls.
Yeah, why not?
It takes a while to get into a rhythm, but pretty soon you're able to keep 3 goat-faced balls in play with relative ease. Go, go, Fingerboy.
I feel sorry for the goats. If they only knew the kind of guy old Cornelius really was.
Wait, what kind of guy was he then?
The kind of a guy who uses the word savages a lot when recounting his travels. A masked nationalist.
A racist mountaineer?
An avid huntsman too. He was often photographed in his dining hall, surrounded by wall-mounted hunting trophies from every continent.
Oh, that is not cool.
He also hit his wife and kids. Other people's kids too. Sometimes pets. hateful little man. But you seem to be having fun.
I'm pretty good at this.
Your game is definitely improving. The jolly goats are flying all over the board, and although a few plummet to their deaths, you're never left with less than 3. Suddenly, a special passage leading to the summit slides open at the top of the board. This is where the balls need to go.
Concentrate and aim for the narrow passage.
Maneuvering a goat ball into a position for a perfect hit isn't easy. More fall to their deaths. But finally, the opportunity presents itself. One of them gets through. Tiny hammer shatters something inside the machine. Something glass. The words "pale rupture" light up on the speaker panel, and the machine starts filling with a thick, milky fog. Something's happening.
Congratulations. This is where the game ends. It's a cheap way of getting more money out of the players. A stupid nihilistic finale.
There's so much fog, you can barely see anything. Some is actually leaking out of the machine, and one by one, your goats start slipping, disappearing into the milky nothingness. This can be navigated. The balls leave almost imperceptible disruptions in the fog. Use them to calculate where they hit next. You're down to your last goat, going mostly by sound. Eyes are useless at this point, but that goat is something special. 5 times you snatch him back from the jaws of death.
Kim, it can be done. Just watch.
I am. I've seen it before. Played it too. You will eventually make a mistake, and then it's all over.
Come on.
How if you can't even see it? The last goat plummets into the fog with almost suicidal glee.
Legendary failure. Well, critical failure.
There goes nothing, finger boy. The machine is dead and silent.
A shame.
All these mesmerizing machines, just waiting to be plugged back in and played.
Run your finger across the dust of White Deora machine.
Feels like it might jump back to life any moment. The lights illuminating the white-robed woman.
What's White Deora?
Some kind of inane pinball theme. Probably related to Messina during the DeLorean age. The history themes are the worst.
Deora was one of the 3 crown cities of the DeLorean era on the Muindi Isola, the others being Ria Silvia and Advesperaskit. This theme is all about early airships and beautiful, sad, pearl-laden women. It's quite nice, actually. The lieutenant grimaces looking at the machines.
It sounds like you don't enjoy pinball, Kim.
No, I love it. I love pinball. Who doesn't love pinball? Let's move on.
He doesn't.
How about we fire up one of these bad boys and play some ball?
You can't fire them up. They are broken. Only that one machine in the main hall works. The Royalist Pinball.
What a dumb name. Royalist Pinball. If they weren't broken, he would kick one of these machines about now.
What about the other one, the Franco-Nigerian ball? Want to play that?
No.
Think. Kim Kitsuragi. Kim Kitsuragi.
Kim, Pinball, Kitsuragi.
Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka Kimball?
Exactly. That's what he's known as. His reputation precedes him.
You're Kim Pinball Kitsuragi.
So now he remembers.
He looks at you in the silence of the workshop, then takes his glasses off and cleans them.
Fine, I'm Kim Pinball Kitsuragi, aka the Kimball. You remembered. Congratulations.
Wait, but I still can't remember anything else.
Wonderful. He only remembers hearing about the pinball policeman.
You don't seem to really like pinball.
No human being should. It is a game that requires no skill and a childlike affinity to flashing lights, and to fantastique, science fiction, and historic romance franchise. It is lame.
Then why are you called Pinball?
I am not called Pinball. It was used to taunt me a long time ago, before I became a homicide detective and got my lieutenancy.
How did you...
Fine. I was a juvenile police officer for over 15 years. It's how I started out in the RCM. Once I had to infiltrate a pinball ring, as you do when you're a juvie cop.
Okay.
It was not okay. I needed to become a pinball champion. I trained for 9 months. The job was successful and I was moved out of the juvenile wing to homicide. End of story.
You were a juvie cop for 15 years?
That time is over now. I was already a 38-year-old man. It was unbecoming, as was playing pinball.
Wait, so that's why you didn't talk to Kuno?
It's best if you handle the juvenile delinquents.
Yeah, well, you're Lieutenant Kitsuragi to me.
Not only to you, I am Lieutenant Kitsuragi to everyone. Now, we really need to continue our sweep of what appears to be a secret path through the whirling.
Alright, let's head upstairs.
This small elevator is dimly lit by a bulb that's been glowing for ages. The latticed cage is open, inviting you to step inside. Smells of nougat and sweat. Your head brushes up against the ceiling. There is a control panel to your right, and just enough room for 2 people to fit in. The maintenance card under the control panel reads, Last maintenance, 10th July, 88.
Look at the elevator controls.
There are large rectangular buttons, monter, descente, and an international call for emergency assistance. That third one appears to be broken. A small steel plaque reads Halter 800. Halter is a Koningsteiner lift company who went out of business a long time ago.
Says the last maintenance was in 88.
That it does. I say, let's brave it.
88? This elevator was maintained a long time ago.
At the end of the last century. Look on the bright side. If it fails, we will only sustain minor injuries. I'm talking 3, maybe 4 months in the hospital. Maximum 5.
It appears his whole enthusiasm is sarcastic.
Wonder what this elevator was used for.
Seems like a small freight elevator for transporting machinery. For that, it's pretty quaint.
He taps on the guttering light bulb. It's golden in the dark. Alright, close the doors and go up. Okay. Not gonna take the cigarette. Well, suppose I could always sell them. Small windows taped shut with black plastic. Can't see outside. Boxes of tools and replacement parts line the shelves. Schematics for a pinball machine. Futurism themed. Hey, the mole maker's coat. Empathy and hand-eye coordination. Pinball machine has been taken apart and gutted.
So this is where they brought 40 pinball machines to fix them up. A long time ago. Everything is covered with dust now. The lieutenant looks around the dusty, crowded room, inspecting the tools on the shelf.
Looks like they gave up on fixing the pinball machines at some point.
At some point, 20 years ago, 15 maybe, before pinball went out of vogue.
This used to be a pinball workshop?
Looks like it. I'm guessing Martinez North 22 used to be a pinball arcade before it became a hostel. There are machines left over.
A creak. Some dust falls off a shelf.
Downstairs in the hall, next to the main door. One of them even works. I've seen one of the Hardies bang away at it.
Remember the dice maker? Then that means...
Whirling Rags was once the East Delta Pinball Arcade. This is all left over from that.
Ah, yes, as the novelty dice makers said. This has absolutely nothing to do with the case, I'm sure. But I do like a nice little connection.
But then it went bankrupt. Your skin crawls from making the connection.
Huh. Could this mean the Whirling Rags really is part of the doomed commercial area?
If that's true, then our cafeteria manager is not going to like it. We should tell him what we found up here, omitting that suspicion. He does not appear to be the kind of man who likes his establishment to be part of a neighborhood ghost story about bankruptcy.
Stupid superstition. But still, it would be interesting to see what the cafeteria manager thinks of this. It's not a ghost story. It's a curse, and Gart ought to be made knowledgeable so he can perform counterspells.
Ooh, we got some footprints.
You clearly see footprints in the downy carpet of dust covering the workshop floor.
Jackpot. These, unlike everything else here, are new.
Someone's been here within the last week or two.
3 weeks maximum from the dust coverage. It could easily have been 1 week too. You know, officer.
This is so good it makes him forget the whole Kimball memory.
This isn't bad at all. It was a good idea to see where that door leads. Commendable work bringing us to this place.
Okay, what does this mean?
It means someone snuck through what seems like a secret route, behind Classius' room, in the recent weeks. This may prove to be significant.
Let's have a closer look then.
Large prints, most likely made by Boots. The size is hard to determine. Sole could be bigger than Vamp. The soles have left a pattern, uniform, horizontal lines.
This print doesn't look like the odd-soled print we found at the hanging, Kim.
The size looks about the same, actually. They're not the same shoe, but they could be the same person.
This doesn't look like the worker's boots from the hanging, does it?
No. These little horizontal lines are different. They look custom-made to me. Or some kind of foreign print. Hard to say. Still a boot, though.
Get up.
Everything around you is quiet. The prints crisscross the workshop floor.
Let's move on. There's a tiny hole in the wall. You see a bedroom on the other side.
You can almost see the shape of a man and a woman writhing inside, bathed in drug sweat and dirty linens. Bottles lie around everywhere.
I think I can see into Classier's bedroom from here.
You can barely see through. Better not to jump to sensationalist conclusions here. The footprints on the floor, however, definitely suspicious.
What were those people doing in there?
You lean closer to the peephole instinctively. I bet they're doing something quite unnatural. They're sensationally unnatural. This is the inside of the barred door you've seen before.
So what's on the other side?
Unless we've veered off into a folded M dimension, I'm expecting to step out on the roof. We could ask Glacier about this route. See how she reacts?
Folded M dimension, a reference to the popular science fiction series In System. Look who's in a good mood suddenly and reads science fiction.
Unbar the door. Huh.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Let's talk more about this so-called assault.
Not my favorite topic, but okay. How about we... Sure. The record. So official.
When is this wildflower?
She looks at the dried petals in your palm, then lightly touches one with her fingernail. Chipped white polish covers the nail. It's long and sharp, like a mini dagger. The petal crumbles on contact.
Pretty. Looks like a dried maybell. Is that the one you caught? Sambo style?
Why was it there?
Why was there a flower on the roof? I don't know, officer. Because of the wind?
Okay, no comments about us coming out of a previously barred door? Fine. Alright, well, may as well head downstairs and talk to the Hardie Boys.
It's you again. What is it?
Glacia says she wasn't raped.
Fuck. I knew that fucking whore couldn't be trusted.
For the record, Titus Hardie did not explicitly specify the victim as a whore, nor did he say anything about trusting her.
Oh, shut up and stay out of this, Liz. He raped her. He was out of his fucking mind. You have no idea.
She's just in denial, asshole. You don't understand the traumatic experience. She's shutting down, and she doesn't fucking trust you.
Yeah, she's crazy, you know. A crazy bitch. You know the type. She's fucked up.
This is a diversion. Stay on track.
Cut the bullshit. She told me the truth.
Lawman, I'm at the end of my goddamn rope with you. I fucking told you not to push her. And you went and pushed her. I am gonna fucking...
Hit you. Duck.
Titus Hardie!
Success. Titus backs off. Fists down, everybody.
Everard personally sent me to take care of this. If this goes south, we'll all be in the shit. But you, Titus Hardie, are going to be buried. Am I understood?
When she's angry, she emphasizes the S. It gives her voice a strangely hypnotic quality. Her lips barely move as she speaks. Frankly, it's a bit terrifying. Someone has to rush in to break the tension. The second in command.
Look, Copper. We know that that fuck was a rapist and a killer. We got him confessing to it on tape. Show it to him, T. What's the harm, right?
Here, jerkwad, listen to this shit. And then come back and tell me the soldier of the apocalypse was an innocent man.
This is their last play, this tape. Their story is in tatters, a mess. It might be nice to listen to, but at this point, you don't need to.
Why should I care about the tape? You lied to me.
You don't care about evidence. The fuck are you a cop for, then?
Pigs, T. They don't care about getting the truth. They care about getting convictions. They are fucking keeping a score on their bulletin boards.
I won't be on your bulletin board. If you don't listen to the tape, we got nothing to talk about.
There's a lot of questions. If you ask them now, they'll just keep bringing up the tape. Listen to it, and they'll have nothing to hide behind.
Mm-hmm. So what's on this tape?
What's on it? We call it the Dorgun Mega Mix. You'll know why, won't you listen to it?
Where'd you get this tape?
You think we go into this shit deaf and dumb? You RCM aren't the only ones who know how to bug people. There's no university degree for that.
So you've bugged them. How?
We have machines. We're in logistics. How do you think a harbor works? It's advanced stuff.
Understood? You've listened in on their communications. How long?
Since way before their chief started taking swing lessons.
Things got nice and quiet after that.
Which one of you is doing this advanced radio work, then?
It's not advanced. You just hold up in a coop all day, writing down what they say. It gets hot as hell in there.
Don't put yourself down, Angus. It's important work.
Yeah, man. You're like a radio genius or something. Those notes are some in-depth stuff. Indexes and shit.
Where can I listen to this?
I'm sure we can find a tape player.
Where can I listen to this? Why don't you try shoving it up your ass, genius?
Yeah, play it with your ass, cocksucker.
I'm sure we can find a tape player. It's not a problem.
Your room had one. Or maybe it's too broken.
That's enough. For now, I'll get back to the investigation.
Don't forget your tape, lawman. Compliments of Titus Hardie.
Fine. I'll listen to it.
You do that. Oh, and keep it. Maybe you'll need a reminder of human ugliness someday.
Uh-huh. Now, we didn't have to do this, but we may as well. And I know where we can get something for this. But I may as well head back and talk to the old soldier.
Vigilance officer, What can this old carabinier do for you?
Do Maybells mean anything to you, Rene?
I prefer the old name, Insulindian Lily. Girls brought them to young cadets when they entered service. Wearing them on your cap was supposed to bring good luck.
Did they bring you good luck?
You know what? No. They brought me misery, false hope, and disappointment. The revolutionaries sullied them.
But it wasn't the revolutionaries that sullied the ID for you, was it? She gave them to me too, and your jealous little heart just couldn't accept it.
Enough! I can go over these matters in detail with you, Gaston, but not while we have company. So, officers.
Maybells don't blossom yet, do they?
Maybe on some remote parts of the city they do. But I think you have to wait for at least a month.
Thank you for your time. Alright, anyways, well, we know where we can get something to play this tape with. And it's at Roy's place.
The boomboxes wait on the shelves, and your boombox, that gold and amber Harmon Waushi, stares at you longingly with its tape reel eyes.
Gonna get a discount on this boombox? A police discount?
A discount? I do have to keep the lights on, man. It's 12 real.
Remember, he doesn't like music. He likes sounds. The Door Gunner Megamix is his type of tape. Certainly, he'd give you a discount if he knew you'd play something so experimental. Careful. You can only do this once.
I'm not just doing any police work. I've got the Door Gunner Megamix here, an era-defining work. Let's do 4 real.
4 real is offensively low, but just this once. For the music, concrete, cop.
Alright, thanks for the discount, man. Here's the money for the boombox.
And here you are. Quality sound reproduction on the go. It'll play anything, wherever. Turn any tape into a conversation of sounds and shapes.
Alright.
The porter reel is just what you needed. The reels attach to the apparatus with a satisfying click. The tape is routed behind the magnetic reader. You push Command Set, and the tape starts spinning. Violent static and machine sounds fill the air.
This isn't Revachol. This is a fucking village. I can almost see the elephants.
The harbor. That's the son of a Kvalson crane.
When this shit is done, I'm gonna tear that place up. Soldier of the Apocalypse style. Kill shit. Dogs and chickens too. Gonna run a room, Cordy. A real nice room. I don't give a shit. I'm fucking done. I'm done mentally. I'll fucking do them all in. Rape that disco cunt on the counter. You know, the dance a whore upstairs. Do it Kohoi style. Never did get that taste out of my mouth.
Click, then silence. The rest of the tape is empty.
The lieutenant presses the button marked Arrête on your porter reel. The tape stops spinning.
What was that at the very end? Silence?
End of recording.
What do you think?
It seemed authentic enough. Probably recorded off the shortwave, then edited to seem more incriminating. He sounded like he was on patrol around the harbor walls.
I agree. He also sounded inebriated.
Still.
Lieutenant looks at the tape. You are familiar with this look now. It's his look of suspicion. Who's this Cordy?
One of the other mercenaries, I think. The one he was talking to. A friend of his?
What's Kohoi?
A village on the Samaran Isola, in South Safre. Grad committed war crimes there, the kind of thing he talks about.
You think he was there?
Who knows? Maybe the tattoos would have an answer. We would need to know the story of this man's service.
A symbol of soldier of the apocalypse style conduct in a civil environment.
Okay then. What now?
I think we've got a few more questions for class here, don't you? This seems to contradict her testimony, at least to some degree.
Alright. And I might as well sell off some stuff while I'm
Hello
here.
again. How can I help you? Sure, let me have a look. Anything else you're thinking of selling?
Antique Belmagrave rifle? No. Finger? No. Really? Can't sell off the... Alright.
Another time, perhaps.
Alright, let's get back to Classier and see what she has to say about this. I should probably also talk to Garte about what we found.
Officer, what brings you up here in the rain?
Titus Hardie gave us a recording where the deceased states his intention to commit rape.
She puts her coffee cup down with a soft ring as the porcelain meets the metal table.
Did he? I never said he was a good man, or that he had good intentions. Only that he was never bad to me.
She doesn't care. If anything, she sounds amused.
On this tape, he specifically identifies you as the target.
Where did they get this recording exactly?
It's intercepted radio chatter of the deceased, recorded via de-encryption station. It's authentic enough.
Does he say he's gonna do it Soldier of the Apocalypse style?
Those are the exact words he used.
Yeah. That was practically his pickup line. Did he say whores a lot? Was he pretty much on the verge of doing it Kohoi style?
Kohoi was mentioned.
He wasn't actually there. He didn't do a tour, or at least didn't tell me he did. Would have been overkill anyway. He lived his own little Kohoi. It wasn't his everything.
Why say things like that? Machismo?
Yes, was he bragging?
Oh no, I'm pretty sure he did all those things. Then integrated them into his idea of normalcy. To keep on living. Until they just sort of turn into his, what's the word I'm looking for?
Persona?
Running joke. I was gonna say running joke. And it sounds like you didn't even get the good bits. Lely's punchlines got way, way funkier than that. He was like the Seminoles conflict, the Kohoi massacre, and the 36 famine in Yezut all rolled into one person, then cast in Orani ceramic armor, which he wore in bed and in the shower.
And you spent time with this person. Romantically.
We're all scraping up any happiness we can find, officer. Going around with our little scouring sticks. You, your first love, Mr. Kohoi here.
Did he tell you he had actually done any of those things? He and Martinez, I mean?
No. We were too busy laying waste to our own nervous systems to direct any of the fury outward. He seemed happy, I guess. At ease. As much as a man like him could be.
What kind of man was he? Before you go, ask for details. She seems okay to talk about it.
Thank you for clearing that up, miss. Whenever you're ready. I'm interested to hear what Titus Hardie has to say now.
She takes a very small sip of her coffee and smiles.
Now that you've had some time, can you tell us more about the victim?
Like, for example, his name?
Actually, officer, I didn't know his name. I just called him Lely.
A nickname?
I guess. He came from Lelystad. It's short for that. And it was his army name, apparently. He said his real name wasn't his. I tried to pry it out of him, but it was no use.
Lelystad. That's a good start. We have a few questions you can help us with. A few things a field autopsy alone can't answer.
The young woman cranes her neck, trying to catch a glimpse of the page the lieutenant passed to you. On it is a list of autopsy observations recorded neatly in blue ink. The last missing pieces of a puzzle of flesh.
How old was he, miss?
He was 42.
42? Are you sure? I would have had him above 50.
He had many scars that made him appear older. But no.
The memory makes her smile.
We even celebrated his birthday, like, some weeks ago. It was a funny 2 days. He had little reason to lie to me.
Looks like you were right, officer.
The lieutenant taps his notebook once, as though assigning some kind of point.
Points are good. Have one, you old dog, before we all die.
I did not know this was a competition, Kim.
It isn't. Police work is a cooperative sport.
This is clearly sports for him. Something like archery or darts.
Alright, let it be.
The young woman looks at you, then the lieutenant, then you. She's enjoying this.
His eye color?
Blue. Light blue. They were like little blue galaxies, you know? It was strange, seeing those eyes in his fucked up face. Pardon the swearing. I do him an injustice. He wasn't ugly. And he had a beautiful, soft voice. Very surprising, what with all the scarring. It was quite something, watching him speak.
He had a combat wound on his chin and mouth?
Yes. Severe. It made him look like half his face was cracking away in some strange smile. That and those eyes.
Ah, yes. His hair, if you can remember?
It was light brown, almost blonde. He darkened it with brilliantine, made it oily. Not nice to stroke. I couldn't convince him to leave it alone.
Let's get to the rest.
The young woman nods.
He had a tattoo. What did it mean?
Oh, that.
It was an Orangese map of the waterways.
Sure, waterways. It was mostly for showing off to chicks, though.
For showing off to chicks? How so?
How? Imagine him lying in bed. Freakish musculature laid out on the sheets. Scarred, of course. Tattooed. The sheets are dirty for some reason.
Is this Oranese lit?
Is this Orangese lit?
Yes. This is the very essence of Oranese lit. A moment's respite. Dark and hopeless as the struggle itself. He's smoking and drinking, of course. And his chest and shoulders and arms are studded with stars. Tens, hundreds of them. Maybe even thousands. And the woman goes like, "What was this, baby?" And he says, "That was too hardcore. Don't ask me about that." So she goes, "Okay, but what's this, baby?" And he's like, "Saw some bat shit there. Killed some loincloths." And so it goes. Star after star, port after port, third world country after third world country. And he's done horrible things in every single one of them.
You were the woman in this?
Oh, yeah.
Can you tell us precisely what these mean?
No, thank you. I've seen enough of him dead. I can tell you what they meant without looking at them.
Go on.
He was a blue-eyed boy with thick arms, from a small town. He was also poor, and the government of Oranje needed some people killed, so they turned him into a grotesque killer. For money. He went to Killer Academy in Vredefort. Then he killed some people in the Semenine Islands. And on other islands, too. All of the islands. After this, he came to Revachol and got killed himself.
Thank you for clearing that up.
Change of topic, perhaps?
I think we're finished with this line of questioning.
All right.
Coolly, gracefully, she pours herself more coffee. Wait, stop. That man, bloated beyond all recognition, was 42?
It's what she said, yes.
Below the damage, the weeks of decomposition, the swollen indignity of mortality. He was 42 years old.
Where is this going?
How old are you? That's where this is going. 45,000 liters of raw alcohol has left its disfigurements. What lies beneath, you wonder? You could ask either one of them.
Kim, how old do you think I am?
Huh?
How old do I look?
How old? 58?
Maybe you're wrong. You're wrong about the deceased, too. He was way younger.
He was deceased. He had been decomposing for a week.
Alcoholism has a similar effect on living tissue, I hear.
There's silence. Then a little more.
Sure, you're 42.
Wait. This requires scientific measurements.
Bring it on. I'm not afraid of the truth.
To the laboratorium.
Date of birth generator? Okay. Alright, well, with that, we are out of time for this episode. Might not have gotten a whole lot out of the Hardie Boys, but we have discovered that there's a secret passage leading from the Whirling in Rags kitchen up to Classier's bedroom. It's gonna come back into play later. Maybe sooner. Who's to say? But anyways, with that, I'm going to end this episode off here for today. If you guys like what you see, please leave a like, subscribe for future content, don't forget to hit that bell icon to get notifications for when I upload, and please, leave a comment down below this video. I'll see you guys in the next episode. Thanks for watching.